welcome. In today's video we are going to continue from where we stopped in the previous episode. So in the previous episode we looked at getting all invoices. We did some great work within the previous episode. We did all this work in the previous episode where you can view where you can fetch all the invoices from the database, and then where you can also view a single invoice fetching it from the database. Okay, so this is great. So the first thing you are going to do is making sure we add our buttons on top there. Okay, so that is the first thing we are going to work on, adding our buttons on top that side. Okay, so I'm just going to head to our code, and we just go to this where we have the new and get all our buttons. So let me also create a component here. We had created, we're supposed to create a component, maybe create action buttons. Let me just, in the components, let me create a new component. So I'm just going to create a new component. I'm just going to call it action buttons, just like that, .jsx. Okay, just like that. RFC. Okay, just like that. Let me just drag this on here. So here I'm just going to put h2 saying buttons, and let me just take this component buttons, and let me take this component to our invoice page. So here on this page on top, I'm just going to put the buttons. So just go to this here where we had this. We can first remove this, and then on top here we're just going to go ahead and put these buttons. I'm just going to see just create a div, and then in this div on top I'm just going to put the buttons, action buttons. Okay, just like that, and make sure you have imported them. So we have them on top here. Great. Okay, so just see if they happen to show up somewhere. Okay, so they are here. Buttons. So just go ahead and get the buttons from this side. Let me just duplicate this window. Okay, I'm just going to go to invoice new. So want to get these buttons from the ones that are on invoice. When we are creating a new invoice, these buttons, these buttons here. So I'm just going to go and copy this whole div actually. So just go to invoice and then new on page. So just go and grab these buttons. They must be these ones. So just go and get all these. Let me see these. Yeah, all these ones here on this flex here. And then let's take them to action buttons. So inside the action buttons, I'm just going to drop these ones. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, so we also don't want this the preview. So this preview button, I'm just going to remove it. Preview button, this one, just remove it. So you're just going to remain with this one which says print. Okay, and I'm just going to have the handle print function. So let me get this function also. The function handle print is here. Handle print function action buttons. So I'm just going to put handle print function on top here. Okay, and I can first remove these. It uses this, get this, and let's make this component a client component. Just on top here, let's put use client, just like that. And we have also gotten use react print. So we are going to look at how possible we are going to get the ref. I'm not yet sure right now, but we look for the way how to do that. It will not be the area of my concentration. And then another one, we have the button is save online. So we don't need this save online button. Okay, this save online, we have already saved the invoice. So what we want right now is sending. Okay, so we have this one of mail. Okay, and to avoid errors, this handle print function, I'm just going to comment it out. And also this on click, I'm just going to comment it out so that we don't have errors. So let me just go back to this page. Let's get these buttons. You can just get these buttons here. Let's get also this. Okay, so we have the icons. Let's now see what we have here on our page so far. Okay, so we have our buttons over there. Let's first go and give some. So in action buttons, where are they? Action buttons here. So down here, let's just put something here. One, I can just going to put container, mx auto, and let me also put padding. I just say padding y16. Okay, and maybe px8. Let's see how this one turns out. Okay, so this has pushed it down. Let's try padding 4, maybe 8. Let's just try padding 8 and see. Okay, I think that one is good enough. Maybe 4. I don't know if it will be so much on top. Yeah, that one is nice. I like this. Okay, I like this. I also feel that the sending of the email, maybe the print should leave the print, but the send, maybe we could put the send on the all invoices like as an action. I don't know yet, but we can first leave it here whereby someone can actually send this invoice. Okay, so now the print, I'm just going to first leave out the print. Maybe you concentrate on the sending because it is on which is hard, and then the print we can still figure out what is, how you have to figure out is how we are going to send this the use ref for this component, and we send it here. Okay, we send to this component which is holding our button, but the most hard one is actually sending an email. Okay, so the first thing is want to have, like down here, we have to have an email tab, something that looks like this. So if you go to Flowbyte and you scroll down, before you'll see something, we need something like this where someone can enter the email and then click on send mail or something. Want a form of this kind, and this form can be triggered when we click this form can be triggered when we click on the send. Okay, so I'm just going to have that form, just also put it there. Let me just have this form also put it there. So first is going to Flowbyte. Let me just pull this over. And by the way, I want to thank those ones who have genuinely subscribed to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. We have finally reached 1K. I'm so much grateful for this achievement. I would have not done it because you are liking the content, you are sharing it. Please continue sharing the content so that others, they can find it. And I've also most of the videos I've put the code on Gumroad, and this is just simply not selling you the code, but actually getting support from you guys so that we can get a better gear. Right now my PC is always struggling. I need to update somehow my gear so that I can give you quality content that you deserve. We need to get at least some gear that can make us make some content, and the only way is by getting support from you guys. Okay, so if you just get that repo at $5, remember that you are not just buying the code but actually supporting me, so that we can create more content together and support each other. Okay, and also I have updated my contact on this banner here. So just in case you have any issues, you can also WhatsApp me. I can actually answer your the problems, or I can make even a Zoom call with you so that we can solve whatever problem you have. Okay, so just move on. So here I have this. I want to get this email box and this button. So what I just need to do is look for the input that has an icon, okay, which is here. Okay, so I'm just going to go down here and grab this input. Let me expand the code. I'm simply interested only in the input, not the label. So I'm just going to get this input just like this with an SVG. So I'm just going to come here somewhere before this, where this button is located at the extreme end. I'm just going to come here and I put a form. Okay, just like that. And then inside this form, I'm just going to put inside this form, I'm just going to put just this and simply add a slash here to avoid that error. And then let's change this one to class name. Okay, and what else? Just change all these ones. You can change these, Control F and Control H, and then you just rename them to class name, just like that. Replace. Okay, so you have all of them as class name. Now one thing we are remaining with is actually the we are remaining with the button. So let me just go to the buttons, and I can grab the button. Okay, and actually you can just use this very button here we have. Let me just get this very button we have, this one, because it is already nice looking. I think we can use this one. You don't need to look for any other button. Just do not cut it, because we still need it to work. So copy this, and then inside this form here, paste, not inside that div, outside this div, just paste it. Okay, and let's first give it a type of submit. So give it type submit, so that if we click it, it can submit a form or something. Type submit, and so yes, change this to class name, and I'm just going to give this one to be flex. Okay, to be flex, and items center. Yep. Let's see how this looks like. It's going to, let's see how they look like. Okay, so far this is how it looks like. I don't know why it is not doing items center. We have this flex. I may first minimize this, and we have this button. Okay, let's see. We have this input inside here, so I have this plus the input. Okay, just like that. Let's see. So for some reason the input and the button, they seem not to be in flex. Why? First of all, let me just make sure that this one also is having item center. Okay, just make sure they have item center. Justify, I don't think justify is very important. Let me also make sure this one has yeah, let me just make sure that this one also have item center. This one is the one which is holding the last button, this one, with these other ones. So let's just make sure. So these other ones are okay. It is only the input, and I think it's because it has position something. Let's see. Input, it has this position relative on it. We might just drop the SVG thing, I think, because I think Zanch is actually making this. Maybe it has a margin bottom. Let's check that, by the way. Yep, I'm seeing it has a margin bottom. Let's see if it is now okay. Yep, so it was the margin bottom working. So right now I just need to give some space, or you can just put this space here by giving a gap, a gap of maybe 4. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is great. Okay, so we have a gap of 4. This is looking nice. This is what we want exactly. So what we want is if this form should only show up when someone clicks on the send. Okay, when someone clicks on the send, then this should happen, whereby we are given the choice to input the email. Okay, so we can just do that using state. Okay, and we can just come here on top. Let me first put this down, and I'm just going to say const. Okay, const const, maybe we just call it send mail, set send mail. Okay, and by default is, as you say, use state. So by default we're just going to say this is by default you're going to say this is false. Okay, and then we're just going to use the send mail. Okay, just bring that send mail to show which buttons should show up onto this. Okay, so we have the form inside here, and we also have this button. So you have to show one of them at a time. We can't show both of them. Okay, so I'm just going to come to up here, and I'm just going to put this, and I say if send mail is true. Okay, if send mail is true, then what we want is to show this, and then if it is false, we show something else. So if it is true, what we want is to show the form. So I'm just going to put the form here, and if it is false, what we want to show is this button, just like that. And by now it should only show the send. Okay, it should show only the send, and you can see. So when we click on send, it should just give us now the one which has the button. I'm just going to go here and put on click on this one. So when I have on click, and by the way, this is the button, so you're just going to add on click on this one, and this one can really just simply set, we can just simply set send mail to true. Okay, as simple as that. Let's see what it is going to do. I guess it has refreshed. Okay, so let's just click on send, and now you can see the email pops up here, whereby we can now input, and this is now the form. So what we can do is putting a difference on these buttons, how they look like. The other one, let's give it a background color so that they don't look like exactly the same. Maybe someone may get confused. Okay, so this one, we can give this one a background color. So where we have text purple, let's see, where is the button? Let me just go back to this button. So we can just say this one, we turn it to be a BG. So you say BG purple 600. Okay, and the text, so we can leave the border to be maybe white. So let me just put the border to be white. So our background is white. Do we need the border to be white? Let me first put the text slate maybe 50. Let me see how this one looks like. Yep, doesn't look so bad. Let's just maintain it just like that, just show some difference. Okay, we can just show some difference just like that, and this one can just say send send invoice, maybe something like that, like send invoice. Okay, and I think that's enough. That show the difference. Okay, and so when we click it, let it update. So when we click it, now it shows this one. This is now okay. Okay, so now we have to create an endpoint for this. When someone sends, we have to send something. We have to get this email and we set it ready. So I'm just going to create an endpoint. So inside the API we have invoice, and inside the API I'm just going to create a new folder called email. Okay, so you could just call a folder called email or called send email or whatever, but you just call it email. And inside the email, let me write route.js, and inside here I'm just going to create a post. So you say export async function post, export async function post. So here is post, just like that. Okay, export async function post, and then it takes in a request. So here you can just put a request, and then we are going to have everything here. Okay, of course, whatever we're just going to send, we want to get the email out of it. So I'm just going to say is going to be equal to await request is going to be await request.json. So you should be able to get the email out. I'm just going to right now say console.log email. And by the way, you see how I tackle small pieces. When you're just doing a big project and you're going to put a big functionality, start with the simple things. Okay, do not start overthinking of what am I going to use to send the emails. Start with the things that you can actually first implement. So like we are doing these simple things, getting the email from the user and get everything ready before complicating the whole environment. Okay, so next I'm just going to do right now is just returning down here, and actually this one should be in a try catch. Just try to put it in a try catch block. Okay, this is great. So here we can have console log error, and let's also have return. So I'm just going to say here return next response from next server, and this is .json. Okay, and I'm just going to return email for now, and then what else can I get? And this one, just whatever just return doesn't matter actually, but just put the here the maybe the data. It is not complicated. Just return email, just like that. Okay, then down here I'm just going to go to down here on the error, return next response dot json. Okay, just like that. and here just return error. Okay, and maybe just return error, and then we can just put a comma here. You can just also return the error, maybe status of 500. Okay, so this is a simple thing. I just want to get the email, so you can just see here the most important thing we need is the email actually plus the link. So we need two things plus the link of the invoice URL. So we need invoice URL. So you have these two things, the email that we are sending to plus the invoice URL that of the whatever the link for the invoice. Okay, so that is two things we need. So I'm just going to go back to action buttons here to our form. Okay, so we have the form here. So just going to create the handle form submit. So on top here, I'm just going to create a function, actually async, maybe async function, and just going to call it handle send mail. Okay, and then inside here we need to get the two things. We need the data, of course. So we have to look for a way of getting the email from that, and we can just use state here. We can use state. We can just say const email. Here we just say send email. No, just set email. Set email is equal to use state, and by default is going to be an empty string. Okay, just like that. And so here, first of all, on this form, I'm just going to set on submit. So on submit, we should run the handle send mail, and then for the input, we're just going to put on change. So just go to where we have this input down here. They just put on change. Okay, so on change, we just have to have this function which takes in the event, and then it says set email to e.target. Okay, simple as that. And then down here, let's have also value. So the value is going to be, I guess, email, as simple as that. Okay, so now in this, after setting those two things, then now in this function now, what I'm just going to have is, I want to right now console.log email. Okay, as simple as that. I want console.log email, and see if you have access to our email at this point. Okay, so let me just go to inspect in the console, so that we can look at whatever is being sent when we click on the send. Just right click inspect, and let me click on the console. Okay, and let me just move this up, click on the console. Okay, so now let me click on send mail, and let me put my email, maybe just say test what, it seems we already have some errors. Okay, let me just see, what did I do? This one is e.target. I think it is e.target.value. It must be .value, I guess. Let me just refresh again. And click on send. Okay, just try to see now. Test. Okay, test at gmail.com. okay, so now I haven't clicked on send. Let me click on send, and you can see we are getting it here and it is refreshing. So that means here in the form, in the handle, we have to accept the E, and then on top here we have to say e.prevent default, e.prevent default, just like that. So the default behavior of the forms is if you click on them, they want to submit the message or submit the form data, and we don't want that behavior at this point. Okay, so what I'm just going to do is now click again send. Let's enter test and let's click on send. Okay, so we have now our test at gmail.com. So another thing we just need inside here is, so we have the email, access to our email. Now we need the invoice link. Okay, we need to have this invoice link. So one thing you should know at this point is that in this place we have access to, if we just go up to not inside the API but inside the invoice, in this page, the detailed page, at least we have access to this the invoice itself. So the most important thing we need is actually the ID, because the invoice is actually this. If I copy this link there, let me copy this link. Okay, let me see. So we just go to the close these ones. Okay, let's remain with the ones we are using. We have a lot of open tabs, a lot of open tabs right now. Okay, let's remain with action buttons. So now in this page here, we can send the ID. As I said, let me first go back to the action buttons. Okay, you can just say const. Okay, I can just say const invoice URL is equal to, I paste this, it is a string. Let me just put this inside the string, just like that, and I can also just print it on the console, invoice URL, just like that. Now we have the invoice URL. Now at this point, if I click on send, you see we have the test, and I also have the localhost invoice 2. Okay, now these two here is what is most important, because if you go to whatever and then we go to invoice, then to, then we should be able to see the invoice. Okay, so let's see, or let's say we have to send these two from app. So just go to this where we have page here. So just go to these action buttons and let me send invoice ID. So I'm just going to say invoice ID is equal to you can just come here and you say it is equal to invoice dot ID. Okay, so after sending it just like that, let me come and capture it here on the buttons. So I can just come here, receive this invoice ID. Okay, and then I can just bring this invoice ID here. Okay, so I'm just going to put the invoice ID there, and it has to be a variable, so change this into backticks. Okay, change those ones into backticks and put this one as dollar brackets, just like this. And let's remove these, let's remove that, and let's remove this. Okay, so this is now the invoice link. Now in the future we have to change this base URL. Okay, this one, this URL in production, this URL changes, so you could just come and put a place either in .env. We could put the URL, then we pick it from here and then we bring it here, whatever you find easy. But I can just put here also const base URL is equal to, and let me just copy this. You can just copy this here, just copy this, put it this one here where we can change it easily. So then we can just come and replace it here, and we say dollar base URL. Okay, so we have the invoice URL just like that from this base. Now why I'm putting the base here, if I want to save it in the environmental variables, you can also do so. Okay, we can just we can also save this as the invoice base URL or something. Okay, and we could just only put the base. Actually, let me just copy this, cut it from there, and here we should just put something like this. Okay, stroke invoice ID, so that here we just have actually the normal domain. So this one is just biz the domain. Okay, so okay, as simple as that. So let's just now click send again. So we have this, click send, and we have localhost. So if you open this, you see it opens the invoice. Okay, so that is the link we want to send to the person. Now if you have any best alternatives, for instance, of first converting this into a PDF, and after getting a PDF you generate a unique URL for this PDF and then send that one, that would be a great one. For now, I actually looked for the NPM package which could help us do that. It is not there. The one that you could try maybe is on converting into a PDF, but getting the PDF URL is something I'm just going to be continuously maybe searching searching for. If you get a better alternative in the comment section, comment the you can comment the package that can convert a component into a PDF, and then that PDF into a URL, and then we can send it. But for now, what you're just going to do, you're going to do the Figma way, and so many others, they do this way. Instead of just struggling with a PDF, actually they send you the actual page of the invoice, so that we just do it in that way. Okay, so now I'm just going to, when you click on send, we have now this set. So the only thing is actually to send these two details, the invoice URL and the email, send them. So I'm just going to say const response. So I'm just going to say response is equal to await fetch. Okay, await fetch, and in this one I'm just going to pass the URL. So I can first copy this one for starters, paste this one here. So it's going to be localhost 3000. Why did I copy? It's supposed to be the whole URL with HTTP, by the way. When you put without HTTP, it is not going to work. I'm wondering why it is copying without HTTP. Let me see. Okay, so it's supposed to be HTTP localhost 3000 stroke API, just like that, then stroke email. Did we put email? Yeah, so stroke email. So we are sending to this endpoint, and then of course we are putting here some options. The first one is the method. So the method is post. Okay, and then we have the headers as usual. So the headers, we always just specify the content type. So content type is application JSON. So just say application JSON. And those ones who prefer using Axios, this is a place where you could use Axios. Then here I'm just going to put the body, and then the body I'm just going to put JSON dot stringify. Okay, JSON dot stringify, and I'm stringifying these two things. Now I would send these an object. So just make an object where we put the email and then invoice URL. As simple as this. Okay, so after making this response, let's just go ahead and console.log the response. Okay, as simple as that. So we have this now. Let's just go back to the console. Okay, so we have the console here. Now we have the send mail. So just put the email test, click send. So we have them here, and then we have the response back status. You can see our response. If you scroll down, it has status of 200, status text okay, and response also, it has this okay true. So just going to use this okay to capture some things, and then we should have these details on the console at the same time. Let me just go to our app, scroll up. So you can see we have test email. It is the only one I think we are consoling. Let me see. Yeah, we are consoling only the email. We can also go ahead and console the invoice URL. Okay, these two. So you can have the email is there. Let me send again. let's see. Let's send again. Send. Okay, and let's check the console. Okay, so this side we have these odd things. Okay, so but finally we have this. We have to stop this console. I don't know which console is this. ID, it is printing out what? The invoice. I think this is the one on the invoice page. We can stop this console here. Okay. The good thing is we are receiving the two things we want. One, test at Gmail, and then we have also the link. Also we have the link, so we are good. Okay, so that part is done. Now after this is okay, we are supposed to show the notification. So let's put also the notification done. So this, after it has been sent, this form again has to disappear, blah blah, like that. Okay, so now let's go back to the action buttons. The first thing is I'm just going to wait for this response. I'm just going to say if the response dot okay is true. If it is true, then I can just come here and I say the first thing I just want to do, of course we are going also to have the loading spinner somewhere. We have the loading spinner, but first what we want to do is, if the response comes back, we have to first set this we have to first set this to this form again to false, which is send mail. So this is set send mail to false. Okay, also we have to put the toast. So I'm just going to call the toast package here, toast dot success. Okay, toast dot success, and I just say invoice sent successfully. Okay, invoice sent successfully, just something like this, and then we send this send mail to false. Okay, those are the two things we need to do. And then I also want, while it is sending, it should show a spinner here saying sending. So when you click on send, okay, when we click on send here and someone clicks on this send, it should show this very button, but here saying sending. Okay, so I'm just going to create also the sending. So you could just call it sending or loading, whatever. Just say, I'm just going to say const let's call it sending, set sending to true to false. So this one is going to be use state. Okay, this is going to be use state, and by default this has to be false. It has to be false, so just put false here. And then, so what you're just going to do is, let me scroll down. So first, when we start this whole process, and this has to be also in a try catch, guys. Let me just get all this code into a try catch, just like this. Put a try catch here, console.log error. Okay, then let's put this here. So the first thing I just want, when this process starts here, I want set sending to true. Okay, set sending to true. Okay, and then afterwards I want, when the response is back, everything is okay here, I want set sending to false. Set sending to false. Okay, and also if there is anything that goes wrong, I want to do also these two. Okay, if something went wrong while trying to send, we can also set these two to false. And more especially, we can also give a notification. Maybe we can just give a toast. Let's just say here, toast that error. I think there must be the one for error, and say something went wrong. You could just say invoice not sent, invoice not sent. Okay, and then say something went wrong. You could just say oops, something went wrong. Try again, maybe something went wrong, and you can just say try again, try again. Okay, so that is great. Now let's just see if those things are working right now. So I'm just going to try. We have to show the sending, so let me just go back, show the sending somewhere. So on this button, where is this button? This button here. Okay, so I'm just going to just do this. Okay, if sending is true, okay, if sending is true, one show something, and if it is false, one show something. Okay, so here one show this one, it should be saying sending. Okay, and then here we just show the normal button. The difference that this one should be type button. First of all, the type changes to button. 2, it should be just also be disabled. Okay, just like that, because in the sending mode we don't want someone to click it, we don't want it to do anything if someone tries to click it. Okay, so now let's try to see if something changes. Now click send. Okay, let's put our email test, click, and invoice sent successfully. So we have, I guess, the response back. We are not consoling the response, I guess, but if you check here on the console, we have the email, so everything seems to be okay at this point. Okay, so now let's go to the actual bit of sending the email. Okay, so what you have been testing here, everything is to make sure on this side of sending the email, everything looks really fine. If someone clicks on send, okay, it shows us the form, and by the way, supposed to clear this form after. So let's just go and clear that. So after everything has been done, okay, you have done all your things, then you have to set what, I think in this response, really, I don't know if you're supposed to do it from here, but just say set my email to empty, back to empty. So you have, this has to be set to empty at some point. Let's just test that. Okay, so let's try sending the email right now. Okay, send, see sending, and okay, so now it has come here. Then if I just click on send, you see now it is empty. And here let's just say, instead of this flow by thing, they just put the placeholder that makes sense to us. So this one, just say John Doe. So you can just say here John Doe at gmail.com, something like that. Okay, so now we are very sure the email is being sent and everything is so good, and we have our two things here. Okay, we are having our data ending up into this place. We have the email and the invoice. The only thing that is remaining is how to send the email actually. So finally, just going to go, and I was looking for what we can use. There are so many ways, but I was looking for the most nice one, the first. I did not use it actually. I'm not sure if it will work or not, but we're just going to try it together and see if it works. Even me, I've not used it before, but I saw this Resend. Okay, so just go to Resend. So these Resend are the creators of React Email. So I'm just going to go to resend.com. So head to resend.com. So this resend.com are the new kids on the block. The service looks to be genuine, and you can just go ahead and read about them. They have blogs and so many other things, but the only thing is to click on get started. So what we want is we're going to use these people here. They look like they have a nice thing. You can see here things, how even Next.js right away they have it here. So I'm just going to click on get started. Okay, and then you have to sign up, and I think I already have an account with Resend. Do I have an account? I'm not sure. Let's try to log in. So you just click an account using GitHub. Okay, you can also use Google, but I think I should use GitHub. Yep, so I think I have an account. Okay, so just click on overview. So first create an account using GitHub. Okay, create an account using GitHub, and then you'll be on this page. Okay, so the first thing that we need to create to send our email, there are so many here. The first thing is the API key. Okay, so when you just go to the overview here, I don't know if you are looking at the same overview right now, but if you look at the instructions, I wanted to get the quick. If you just go to back to Resend, I'm just going to click on docs. So when you log in right now like this, don't click the API, just click on docs. Okay, let's click on docs. Okay, because on the docs is where they have a very quick guide. So just go to this quick start, and then here they have all for these different frameworks. We are just going to choose ours, which is Next.js. Okay, so this Actually, I did not try it out, but I liked the documentation. Actually, the documentation looks like it is really so much helping. Okay, so we have two steps that has to be get done before you reach even the first step. So the first step, they tell you to install Resend, but before that you have these two crucial steps. The first one is creating an API key. So I'm just going to right click on this create API key. So of course you'll be sent inside your, if you click that link you'll be sent this site here. Actually, I think I ever played around with it and I think it did not work. Okay, so just create API key here. First of all, you can give the APIs, give it a name. I'm just going to call it Invoicer. Let's say Invoicer, just like that. Permissions, give it full access. Then the domains, leave on all domains, click add. Okay, so they give us our API key right now. Just simply, you can see, you can only see this once. So if you don't store it at this, it will get lost. Simply copy it here. And let's go to our environmental variables. So go to our .env here. Let's create something, another key. And this one, just going to call this one Resend. I'm just going to call this Resend API key. Okay, I'm just going to put it here. Okay, cool. Make sure you copy it, you not see it again. So that step is done. Guys, make sure you create the API key. So that step is done. Cool. Let's go back to the guide. Okay, let's go back to the guide. Let's click on verify email. I'm going to right click on it, open a new tab. This one, let me close the one for the API key. We are done with the API key. The second one is verifying the domain. Okay, so guys, if you are verifying the domains, the first important thing, and this is not about Resend, this is about how all emails work. So most especially if you are sending an email from a non-verified domain, or if you are sending from a non-hosted domain, you are most likely to end up in the spam folder. Okay, and that's why if you're using services like NodeMailer or something like that, that does not require you to have a domain, an actual domain, you actually end up being in the spam. Okay, and by default, Resend will not actually send the emails if you don't have a verified domain. So the first thing is, if you don't have any domain right now, what I could just tell you is that just get about 40, actually it is $8 if you went to Namecheap. Okay, if you went to Namecheap, because at the end of the day you have to practice on the actual domain. Because if you are practicing using not actual environment, when a client gives you the actual work to buy the domain and you're not used with that process, it is not good. So try you buying your own domain. If you have your portfolio, just buy your own domain. It's about $7. So if I put here maybe my name, web, maybe just like that, whatever I want to try and search. So just come here and just search for your domain. I want to show you that it is something really not that expensive actually, unless you have a very and you can see here you can see mukjb web.com is about $10, and the renewal is at $14. So this is okay. Okay, $10 is really a cup of tea in some countries, you know. But even if you are in whichever country, try to buy the actual domain. So you could stop this process right now, pause the video, go here, add to cart, just create an account with Namecheap, buy the domain, connect it to Vercel. By the way, if you have any problems buying the domain and also setting the domain with Vercel, just comment in the description so that I can make that video. Okay, just comment if you have any problems with buying and connecting the domains. Right now I'm just going to show you how to verify the already bought domain, but if you have issues to continue from this step until you host your website on Vercel, just simply let me know in the comments so that I can make that video. Okay, going back, that means we need a .com, a .dev, but a .netlify, a .vercel.app, those ones, they will not work. Okay, you need to have a .com, a .dev, like a real domain, a custom domain. Okay, so even if you have .io, they will work so long as it is a custom domain. Okay, so going back to this verifying, where is it? Going back to this verify domain here, the first step, you have to add the domain. So I'm just going to click add the domain, and you can see already I have my domain. Your plan includes one domain, get more recent capabilities. So you see you have only one domain, and of which I think I already have. So what I'm just going to do is using another account, I guess, at this point. So let me just try to log out. So log out. Okay, so I'm just going to use another account. So let me just create, instead go to not login, I just want to go to back here, and I want to get started, and let me just use I can create an email here and password, I guess. Let me just do that. Okay, let me just put this, use another one. Okay, let me just use this one. Create an account. I think they will send a verification or something. Do I need to save this? They say we have just sent a verification link to this, whereby you have to get the verification link. Okay, so I'm just going to pull up this and see if I can actually access that email. I don't know if I can do it from my okay, so that I don't have to jump around. Okay, let me see if I can just use my phone right now. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so need to confirm. Okay, confirm the account just once. Okay, so I'm confirming and they take me to the login. So I'm just going to go to login, and I'll just put this account now. Login, just put this and see. Okay, they didn't ask him password. I'm just going to enter my password. Okay, and see if I'm given another account. Yeah, so you can just be aware you have only one, uh, and that means I have to get another API key because the other API key is tied to the other one. So I'm just going to go back to the starting point where we click on APIs, and you can see I have no any API. I'm just going to create the new API. Let me just call it Invoicer, and let's add. Okay, I'm just going to copy this, take it to replace it with this one, just like that. So okay, the API is done. Close this. Now I have to go to verifying the domain. Shit, I closed accidentally the Versailles. Let me just go back to my PC is freezing right now. Okay, I'm just going to go to this verify domain, and if you just go back to the dashboard, just go to domains. Okay, just come here to domains. Just come here to domains. The domains, I don't know why my PC is choosing to freeze at this point. Okay, so I've just come to domains, and you see I don't have any domain right now. So click on just add domains, and look at how the example they have given you. You should add a domain in this format. Okay, updates.example.com. So it should be, you can't add the Versailles, the .netify, .github pages. You should add an actual domain. If you don't have an actual domain, please look for a way of getting yourself an actual domain so that you can actually have this experience tested. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put my domain. Okay, just like that. I'm just going to leave this in the North Virginia. I'm not sure if it is the one which is near Africa, but according to the ones that are here, the only free one, by the way, is that. You can see all the ones are under Pro. So just simply add that. Okay, so we are adding the domain right now. Okay, so they just go ahead and give you these. You can see we have two things. There is verified DNS records, and at the same time you have these 3 DNS records. So they say access the DNS setting page of your DNS provider and add the following DNS records to the record section. Once all are added, click verify record button above. So when you have added all these ones, you can just come and do this. Okay, and you can see here they are just asking you DNS provider if it is Versailles. They even give you a link. I'm just going to click on this. Okay, let me just go to that. I've just opened this and just use Versailles. Okay, if you're having another one, or if you're hosting from Namecheap or whatever, it is not hard. If you have any difficulties, you can let me know. So you can see they have taken us to this page, and I think they're using this very one that I put there. So just move down on this DNS records. You can see them here. So you add the name, the type, the value, and the TTL, and the priority if it is given. So just add those values one by one. So the first one, the name, is send. What happened? Let me just go back to domains. What? Just click on it. I just want to copy these ones. So just start with the send. So the first one is send type, and I just copy the value. Go back the site. This one is send, value just like that, and the TTL is 60, I guess that is the figure here, 60. Priority is 10. I don't know why it is jumping or like that all the time, but let's just go with that. The second one is send, and let me copy the txt, copy the value, and here is the types. Let's go and confirm the type. The first one is mx. Okay, you have to change the type. The type is mx, and this one the type is txt. So I'm just going to go here, add. So when you add the first one like this, click on add. Missing priority, so just put priority 10. Okay, just click add. Okay, so that one was added. So let's put another one. The second one is also send. Type is txt, and the value is this, and ttl priority there is no need, and click also add. Okay, so we have added the second one. Let's go back here. I don't know if you also experience what I'm experiencing, this thing jumping around all the time. So let me just copy this other one, put the name, make sure you're having the txt, and let me copy the value. Let me just copy this value here, and yep, so that is it. This other one is txt, and it has no priority, so just go back. It is this, then txt, then value is this one, and then tier 60 and add. So add these ones in. You have added all my stuff here, and if you have added all of them there, just go back and click on verify. So just go back to domains, click on the domain. Now you can just click on verify DNS. Okay, so this one will take some time, and you can see that saying pending. That saying the verification is in progress. I'm not sure how much time this takes, but let's just give it some seconds to make sure that the provider is verified. If if your domain is not verified, you cannot be able to send emails. Okay, you cannot use any other email and it will not accept. They just try to be patient. They verify this, and they say here they is in progress. It may take a few minutes or hours depending on the domain propagation time. You will receive an email notification once this operation is done. So what we can do is, as this one is verifying, we can move on to the next steps. Okay, so we did these first two, the create API key and verify your domain. These are very crucial before you start. So the first thing you have to do is install Resend. So Resend is a package that helps in sending mails. So simply copy this command. Let me go to my VS Code here on the terminal. I'm just going to open the terminal here. Open this third one. So I'm just going to say npm install Resend. So I'll go ahead and install Resend. That is the first step, installing this package Resend. Okay, so the second one is the create the email template. So this email template is actually the template that we are going to send. Okay, this is the actual template that is going to be sent. Okay, this is the actual template that is going to be sent. So yeah, this let me see. Okay, so this is the actual template. So they say start by creating your email template in components email template.tsx, and we can paste this. I'm just going to come copy this code. Okay, So go to our components. I'm just going to create this email template. So I'm just going to go in my components. The resend is still going on. Click new file, and let me put here under components, let me put what should I put? Email template, email template.jsx. So if you're using TypeScript, you could just use tsx. I'm just going to paste this here, and we can just go ahead remove the TypeScript part. Okay, we do not need const this whole thing. So this export const email template, and then they are giving the types here. We do not need this. Okay, and also I'm just going to change it a bit, but remove this interface. This is for TypeScript. Okay, and also this React, we can just first leave it there, and then they have this prop they are passing here. Now for our case, I think we need a one prop for the link. Okay, we need one prop for in our template export const. I think this is just a React, a normal React component. Okay, this is a normal React component. Email template is the name. Okay, so export function, I'm just going to change this to export function email template, I guess. Let's just see how this has to be. Just have this, cut this, and let me just remove all this. So function this email template, and we can just put this return, and then let's return this. Should not have any errors right now. Yeah, so this is okay. Email template, it takes in this, and now instead of taking first name, we're just going to use our invoice URL is what we want to send. Okay, so you're just going to say, we're just going to say here, put an anch tag for this. Okay, if we want this to be a link, and just going to say that this is actually getting components. I think it is using components, but right now just put an anch tag. I just put anch tag just like this, and then inside here let's just put the URL. So just say here URL, invoice URL. So this, whatever we are getting here, let's place it here, and just say here here is your invoice. So the most important thing is not this, what we send is to make sure this email just goes. Other things like customizing this, really we can customize it the way you want, even sending more data. But right now what we just want is the email template is accepting the invoice URL, and we can be able to send it somewhere. Okay, the package has been installed, the resend package. That is great. So we have our template. So after creating this template, let's move to the second step. So they say here, send email using React. So they say create an API file or an API endpoint if you're using the pages. If you're using the API, so they say create API app API send route. Okay, so now they are calling this send. Okay, So we have to change our route, the one we have said email. Just going to change this to we have to change this to send API instead of email. Let's say send it to send. So I'm just going to rename this to send. Okay, and if we make this send, it means we are changing our action buttons. Okay, so here where we are making API, let's say send. So this should not change anything right now. Just make sure that you change also in the action buttons, you change your endpoint from API email to API send. Okay, so that is great. Then just continue and see. So they say you create this app API send and then route.ts if you're using the app router. And they're saying import the React email template and send the email using React parameters. So we are using the API, the site, so you can see they have everything done here. So what you just need to do is, you can see you have the Resend API key on top here. So the first thing I'm just going to do is copy. What am I going to copy is just copy this thing inside the try. So the one we have inside the try, just have this in the try, just copy this, copy on top here. So just go to our API endpoint, which is this one. So below here, where after the invoice down here, where we have this console, just put this. Okay, so put this and let's see what we have pasted. We have the resend, so you have to first define the resend. So on top we can say const to resend. Okay, so just copy this. We have the resend. Okay, just on top here, just to define a resend, and you can just get the resend from resend. Okay, this one, make sure you import this new resend. This object you must get it from resend. And next is also getting the template. So you can see here they have React, then they have template. So just get our template, since we named it the same name. For some reason, if you had this as a different name, you could now call that name here. And I'm just going to bring it in. And it seems not to be okay, so it has seen it. So get this from, you can see email template from components, email template. That is great. Now they have the subject. We can just say the subject, you can just say this is a new invoice from Invoicer, just like that. Okay, and then we can also just pass in here this. Instead, let me just pass in the invoice URL. So what we want is to pass in this invoice URL right now here. So pass in the invoice URL as the parameter. Okay, so what next? Then we have these from and to. Okay, so the subject is okay. Now to is, this is where the email is supposed to go. So just put here in these brackets, let's just put our email. Okay, so this is the to, where the email is supposed to go for the whichever email someone input above here is what you're supposed to say to. Okay, it goes to that person. Now the most hard one is this. Okay, where this is coming from is where the problems come from. If you don't have a verified domain, this is where actually it doesn't go. So let's first go and check the progress of our verification. Okay, this is taking so long than I expected. Okay, let me try to refresh. Fail to load the page. What? I don't have internet? It is true, my internet is down, guys. Let me just, in a second, let me connect this. How could I do that? Just in a second, guys. I think that's what took the verification process. Let me just, in a second, we'll be back. Yep, I think we are back. Okay, sorry for the interruption. My internet went down, but you can see we have been verified. So now everything is okay. Make sure you have a verified domain, please. Okay, make sure you have a verified domain. Okay, yeah. So after you have verified, now let's continue with our process. Now, what do we put here? Now, what you're supposed to put here is supposed to be an email, okay? An email attached to this domain that you verified here. So this domain that you verified here, you're supposed to put any email attached to this domain. For instance, you can have info at theshub, support at theshub.com. So anything you should have should be attached to that email. Actually, they don't verify the email itself, so even if I put any email that is not actually existing but is attached to that domain, is going to work. Okay, so I think here you're supposed to put, I think, the name of the company. Let me see if I put like this is hub, and then I'm just going to change this. I'm just going to say info. Okay, and at theshub.com. This is hub. So the one you have the site is what you actually put onto this one. Okay, so you just simply put like this. The email you should put here, you should know that it should be verified. Okay, this one here. Okay, so actually our setup is now looks to be fine. Okay, our setup looks to be fine. And here you can see they saved this into a data variable, so we have to return that data. So return data, and you can just remove these two. Okay, and let me just go and also console.log data. So console.log data, let me just console.log data. Okay, yeah. So if you have any bad requests, if you go here and you see what they told us in this return, just return the error. Okay, and let's see the stuff here. That should be the last process. Yeah, so now the only thing we need is actually to try out. Let's see if we have any errors right now. So right now what we just need is to try out, and we have also to console.log the response. So in the button action buttons, let's go back to sending here. So when the response is okay, let me just console.log response. At some point, let's console.log response. Console.log response. Okay, as simple as that. This console.log response. Okay, so they just fingers crossed. I'm just going also to put the Gmail that I'm just going to use for verification. Let me just go ahead and refresh one more time to make sure everything is okay. Let's just go and see if everything is going to work. Right now, my PC is some kind of freezing, but it's okay. So just what I want is click on send invoice, and let me just go and put my email. So I'm just going to put just like this email. Okay, at gmail.com. So I'm just putting this one. Okay, let's just click on send, and this time is going to take some time. Let's say sending is taking some more time, I guess. And let's just wait, see if something is happening. Say something saying it is sending, and we are waiting to see what will happen. Okay, it is still sending, and finally I'm seeing invoice sent, and we have the response back, and seems to be, let's look at the response, whatever. Okay, it seems everything is okay. We could look at the data that has been printed on the console. Let me see the data, and in the data that is on the console, we have the ID, I think, of the invoice that has been sent. Let's go and confirm in the mail. Okay, I'm just going to log into my Gmail, okay, and see if I have any new email that we have sent. And they just see here, refresh. I'm not seeing any email right now. The only one is from Superbase. Okay, let's just see. Okay, we don't have any email right now. Let me, wow, it is there. Down here, you can see this is a new invoice from Invoicer. Guys, it is, the email is here. Unfortunately is that the link is not there, but the good news, the email came. Okay, the email came. The only thing that actually did not come is the link. I think that one we can fix it. I'm really happy right now that the email was actually sent. So now let's just go back to this. Actually, you can just close this site. We do not do this. By the way, if you just go back to the emails, wherever the emails you send, they will just all come here, and they show you whatever email you send. They even show you the delivered time, blah blah, all that, subject, blah blah, everything. You can always check on your dashboard on the emails. They have all the emails sent. Now, what I want is actually to see on the template. Now, if you look at this template, where is the template? On top here, creating this template. Now they're using the React email for this template. They're using React email. So let me just duplicate this. Okay, I believe for this, if you are going to use the template, we can use React email. Okay, so just what I'm just going to do is search. I don't have any link to React email right now here. Let me just see. I expect it to sit somewhere, maybe, because they are the same creators. But just put React email. Okay, just put React email, and let's just go to React email. And by the way, if you're wondering why I always have these things on top, by the way, like this, like having these snippets on this, I have this Chrome extension called Grepper added to my Chrome extensions. So you can add this Grepper. If any person has ever searched something like this and he adds it to Grepper, you always get it. So that is it is, I find it very useful. Sometimes whatever you are searching might be someone else ever searched it. So just go to docs for React email. Okay, and now on the React email, maybe we just go to Resend. If you see this side, they have these components, and I just want to go to integration with Resend. So you can see Resend was built by the same team created React email, which makes this our recommendation for emails. So you see, we already created the installed the Resend package, which is okay. Now creating these components, you can see these components, they come from this, and you can see, for instance, the URL is on the button component. So we have to first install this React email, this React email at components, I guess. So let me just first scroll up to components for a second here. Let me just go to getting started and just go to manual setup. So you can see you have to install this the dependencies. So we could install the dependencies, these ones: React email button, and React email HTML. Now you could install actual React components, but since we are using only the button, I think we don't need any other. But this is how you install the React email, and then now you can start installing each individual component only. So I'm just going to grab this React email just like that, grab this, copy that, and let's install this. Go to this last one, and I'm just going to say clear. Okay, and let me just paste this command here. Okay, so you're installing React email. The React email is the one they use actually to build the templates. Okay, these templates are being built on top of React email. Okay, so that's why we're installing the React email, and then now you can install the components, each component at once, like button, the HTML, and they have more components. Okay, they have more components. If you check under components, they have the HTML. This is the one we have installed. They have the head. Okay, then they have the column, rows, containers, all those things. I think I should like make a full tutorial about React email, like sending custom emails using React emails. But right now there is also a link. Actually, let's see how a link works. I think we should also install this link. Let it finish. I will install this link, and then so that we just have this using this link here. Let's see where it has reached. Let's just wait for a second. I will just go ahead and also install a link, since we need a link. Okay, and you can see for this they say that props, the href is required, and then the target by default is blank, so we don't need to set this. And those are the only two stuff, and they even tell you the support. Gmail is already supporting it, so we are good to go. So just wait, and I'm just going to copy this installation link, this one, npm install react this, copy this, and let's go to this. Wait for this one to get done. Okay, so I'm just going to wait for a second. I feel like I should speed up. It seems it's just going to finish. Okay, it seems it is finishing. Let's give it some minute. Let's give it some minute to finish. Okay, let's give it some minute to finish. Let's give it a minute. Let's give it a minute. Okay, now after this we have to install this the React email link. Okay, just have to install this React email link. Okay, it is taking more time, so I'm just going to pause the video for a second. When it is done, I'll be back. Okay, so it has finished. So we first installed this install React email button and React email HTML. Those ones they installed. I went ahead and also ran npm install React email link. So this one has also installed. Now we are free to use it in our email template. So open the email template where we have this. Let's just go first of all, copy this. Okay, just like that. So instead of putting this, we could put this h1, just h1, just like that. And then we don't need this. Then down here, let's put a link, and let's remember to get this link from React email. Let me just copy here. Here this import here, so that it doesn't get with Next.js link. So make sure this one we are getting it from link from React email link. Now let's use this invoice URL instead of this one. Let's just put our invoice here, just like this. Okay, here is your invoice. Okay, so here you say view invoice. Okay, just like that. So now fingers crossed, let's just go back and send another email. So I'm just going back to our app and I want to send refresh. So I want to refresh and send another email. So click send. Okay, so just a second, just click send, and let me just put the same email, this one, send, and it is sending. Let's give it some time. Okay, probably we could even put a spinner here, I'm thinking. Okay, so email sent successfully. Okay, that is good. So let's check in our email. So I'm just going to go back here, click here, and let's just maybe I'm just going to refresh. Okay, so we have here under important. This time it came under important. So click here, and boom. So you have here is your invoice. view invoice. Okay, and let me click. So click and let's see, guys, congratulations, this is so nice, guys. Okay, this is really nice. Okay, this is really nice. Now the only thing is that the problem we are having is that this is coming onto this page, because when we send it to someone, we do not want him to see these things, the register, the login. We don't want that. Okay, maybe to the authenticated user, if maybe it's the owner who is authenticated, we could hide this stuff. And this nav bar we are seeing here is in the layout. Okay, this is in the layout. If you just check here in the, why we are seeing it is because it is here in the layout. Okay, so in the layout here is where we have this nav bar. So how can we stop the nav bar not show on this detailed page? So that on this detailed page we have the print, because at the end of the day this person might also want to print it or even sending it. Now in the future, this feature can be only for the registered user, so you can hide this button. That is not a big deal. We can hide this button if a person is not registered, so that if he just only views this, is only in that mode. If someone is just a user who has been sent this link, he should only see the print button, and then this send invoice can be only to registered users, the ones who can see this button. Now right now, let's first work on hiding this nav bar. So what we can just do is we can just go to the nav bar itself. Okay, where's the nav bar? So the nav bar is here. So I'm just going to first initiate it is already use client. So I'm just going to come here and I say const router. So I'm just going to first get a router. I think do we need a router? I think we need a path name. They just say path name is equal to use path name, and this use path name I think should be getting I don't know why my extension now is not working at all, but I think we can just import this, import use a second, import use path name from next, I think it's from next navigation. Okay, I can just search this use path name. I guess let's just search this use path name Next.js. Let me just search for that and we see. Use path name. And yeah, my PC is somehow also freezing. Okay, so use path name. Let's just see this. Use path name. Use path name. So you can see. Yeah, so use path name is from next navigation. Okay, so you can just use this. Okay, so you can just go ahead and console.log the path name. So it is from next navigation, so we have it here. Okay, so for instance, just say console.log path name, console.log path name. Okay, so this let's just go to this here. This is our detailed page. Okay, so let's just go to this, and once see the path name, okay, so you can see here it is putting slash invoice2. Okay, so now we want to make a condition. Okay, you want to make a condition to hide this when the path name is like this. For instance, we could just say if we could just say something like that. If by path name, we just make a statement and say, we say if the path name is equal to, if the path name is equal to this. So let me just get this stock invoice2 for now. Let's just say is equal to stock invoice 2. Okay, and then we could just say if this is the case, then just going to say return null. So we don't want it to return the header, we just want it to return null, and that's it. Of course, we are going to modify this. Okay, but they just see that, and you can see just as fast as that, the header is gone. Okay, the header is gone. Maybe you could even display another header, maybe welcome to your invoice, blah blah, but you can see at least the header is gone. Now you have this on these buttons. Okay, now what we want is maybe if the path name, okay, because if the path name, we cannot know if this is going to be which ID. Okay, we cannot know if this the ID, but we can just say if, how about is, if we say if the path name, if the path name, if path name dot maybe starts with, there is, I think there is this starts with string. Let me see if I've put the right one. They just search for it here right now. Starts with, just going to starts with JavaScript. I'm not sure of that function, but there is this. So you can see here string hello world welcome this, and you can say dot starts with hello, and this can give you true or false. Okay, yeah, so we can just say if the path name starts with, how about ends with? Let's first look at, is there ends with? Because starts with might just actually flag all our stuff. There is also ends with. Okay, maybe just say we use the starts with. So starts with slash invoice, okay, invoice, okay. And so if this starts with this, okay, and we can put another statement and do we put it there? Path name that starts with and path name, and the path name is not equal, maybe, and the path name is not equal to invoice. So we have invoice new. Okay, so like we want all the path name which starts with this except this one, and not, and path name is not equal this. I'm not sure if that is a how the good condition, but let's see if this one yields some results. Okay, so it is gone. If we go to invoice new, let's go to invoice new and see if on the invoice new it is there. Let's see. Yep, so on the invoice new is there, so that means this condition is perfectly working. So you can just have a way of figuring out how you can do your things, and you can see path name starts with this blah blah. That is really cool. So now we have this page now being sent right now very well. Let's just go back to the invoice 2. Now we still have to work on these buttons. We don't want to show these buttons here, but let's just still have this new, just put 2 here, go back to this invoice 2. So right now our invoice is being sent very well, and this page is only having this. I'm so happy about this achievement, being able to send these to the person, whoever we are sending with. Let's do this again. Let's just send that, and I'm just going to replace this icon with a loader, maybe a spin or something. Okay, invoice sent successfully. This is really nice. Okay, and we can go ahead and confirm the third email here, and you can see the third one has come. Okay, I think it is this one, view invoice. Yeah, so we're having this email here. You can go ahead and do the styles. If you want style it, this, I guess if you go back to this, they can show you how to style it. But right now we are having our stuff working so much properly, and I'm so happy with this achievement. So now we just do one more thing and we finish this video. I guess it is already long. So one thing we're going to do is, we're supposed to figure out the print, but I want first to go to the new. So when we go to new, okay, when you go to new, we don't need this button here, because the save, okay, the save online is actually happening when we create invoice. So this one is automatically saving this email, this invoice. When you create, it saves this invoice. So we don't need to put save online, it is already saved. Okay, so it's just already saved. Or you could actually just go and manipulate the code make sure if someone creates on create, it just simply creates the preview and then this one sends. But I'm just going to remove this and even the send, okay, and even the send. You could also go ahead and implement the sending from here, but let's just go and put on a here preview and print on this page. So I'm just going to go to the invoice new page, okay. So I'm just going to transform these buttons right now. Where are our buttons? The buttons are on top here in the header. So I'll just go and get this. We have the preview button and the print, okay. So in the print now, just in this one, remove the saving saving to cloud. This one we are already doing it by creating, and then also just this one, and just paste that around, print download. So we have that, okay. Let's check if it is showing very well. Okay, so just simply remove it from here. Let's just remove it from there. Okay, so just go here. In this first one, just remove this. Okay, what is this? And this will just also remove all these ones to make the code clean. And by the way, you can get this code in the link description. If you as I've said at the beginning, just you getting this code, it will means a lot to me. You'll be supporting me to get the new gear, and it will be really good. Okay, so right now we have this one did. So one more time, we are going to do the whole full demonstration to make sure that everything is working the way we expect. Okay, we are going to demonstrate one more time the whole invoice, okay, and we send it, of course, and we do everything. We make sure everything is working. Let's just do that. So here I'm just going to upload the logo, okay. Just going to upload the logo. Okay, so let me just go to downloads. Okay, just uploading. My machine has slowed down, I don't know why, but we bear with it right now. Okay, let me scroll down, get this logo, upload it. Okay, so we have the logo uploaded and it should appear here very nicely. Okay, so your company, I'm just going to use Gravity, maybe say Gravity Water Consultants. Gravity Water Consultants. Okay, your name, I'm just going to put JB. Then these are the ones, let me just put these ones. Okay, so client name, this time I'm just going to send it to Google. Client, maybe let's just see New York. New York, and then city, state, still is London, England, maybe wherever the New York is located. So invoice number, let's put any number here. Month, invoice date, month is, so you could just say it is October. date is 19/20/23. Month here, you see November 19/2023, whatever. And then let's just go and put the description. So this time, let's just say water maybe installation, okay, at 3, and maybe each at 2,000. Okay, and let's add another one, and let's just say electrical, okay, installation also, and let's say here maybe 5, each at 1,000. Okay, so we can just leave those items and notes. Remember, you had maybe a previous date, okay, and maybe here terms and conditions, all is well, just like that. So create invoice. Okay, so it starts creating here the invoice, so just wait for it. And this one is saving into our database. Invoice created nicely, and it redirects us to this invoice page, and then they pick the name of the invoice you sent. We sent it to Google, and it's down here. You now see the date, October 19, 2023 is the invoice date. Click view invoice. So we are opening the invoice. Wow, so the invoice is here, Gravity Water Consultants, and let's just confirm all the details. We have one bag. Okay, that is not good. We have this invoice details not saved. I don't know why is that. We could just confirm in our database if this data is there. Okay, we just save in our database. So you could just go here to Prisma. Okay, so Prisma right now is showing some error. I don't know if this is related. Oh, okay, I think I received a message and an email from people of Supabase. Your Supabase instance, I think they actually posted this. Okay, they say your trial has been paused. So just go to this dashboard. You had just actually forgotten. I think they posted this since we are on a free trial, and there are things which come with a free trial. But of course, if you're just learning, there is nothing you can do. But just go to this. I don't know if this is the one which has been suspended, or we need to activate this. Yeah, I think maybe it has been now activated. Invoice app, you can see they are again spinning this stuff. Let's go to tables, invoice. So just look at the one we have just created right now. ID7 Gravity Water. So everything looks great. Everything looks great. They just go to the rows for ID7. So if you just look at here in invoice ID, you see that for invoice ID7 we don't have the rows, and you can see here you allowing anonymous access to your table in blah blah. That is not a big deal, but this table will be publicly readable and writable. Yeah. Okay, so right now I'm just going to go ahead create again this invoice. Okay, because if you see here, these are the invoice ID, and invoice ID 7 is not there. Okay, and for this one is okay. Just confirm whatever they're just saying here. We don't want to enable anything right now. So this one was created for some reason, but then the rows, they were not created. Let's just confirm if maybe this whole thing of suspending this, if it is the one which has caused the problem. I'm just going to go back to the here, and it seems everything for this app is working. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and create another one one more time. Just go to our app to confirm this problem. So I'm just going to go to home. Yeah, and this page you can see we use when someone is registered to show some other links for some reason. Right now, just go back to invoice new. Okay, and let's create the invoice again. So just upload here the, and let's confirm I have internet, by the way. I think internet is there. Yep. So you just browse the this. Okay, and you just go ahead, touch this. Okay, I'm just going to use a fake filler this time, and I'll just change this name here to this time. Let's change it to maybe water wonders, and I'm just also going to change the bill to. So the bill to the client, let's just say this one is to Crane Travelers. Okay, let's leave everything the way it is. Maybe we change this to 2023. Let's just put this one to October 19, so that we just see the date. Okay, then the description, let me just go and put the other thing. I just put electrical installation. Okay, the quantity, just put 1000. Let's just put 0 here, and just go ahead and put here another one. I just put here water installation units, maybe 1 at 3000. Okay, so just try again and see if this problem is about the database or is about us. Just create invoice. Invoice is creating. Let's just give it some time. Invoice created, and you can see here on the preview, actually on the other preview generated, we have all the details. Let's go ahead and see Crane Travelers. All details are there. This time we have electrical installation to 2000. I think this is something to do with the database. Okay, but we have this electrical installation. Let's go to the Prisma here. So you could just use Prisma here. Go to rows. So this is ID 8. You could just go to Prisma or Superbase. It is the same thing. Okay, just here. I think I've already opened Superbase here. So you just confirm the invoice. Invoice 8, Water Wonders, is there. Go to rows. Now rows 8. So you can see we have only one actually that registered this side here, and this is about the database. Automatically is about the database. Sometimes this can happen, more especially if you're using this free tier thing. But I think we are good. Whatever you saved here is being retrieved in our app. Okay, here. So let me just go ahead and send this email. Okay, maybe you could also capture the title. So here, where we are sending email here, you could put another things. You can see in our email we have some things to customize. Okay, we have other things to customize from this. You can see the name, this name here. Two, you have also this inside. Okay, and you can see whatever you're sending is up here, so you can customize this. Okay, you can customize the subject, you can customize all these ones, and you put them on this what is it, you can put it just on this this form here. Okay, so right now just send again, send. Okay, nice, invoice sent successfully. Let's check here. Okay, it has already come, and you see how it comes inside the inbox. It's not going in the spam or anywhere, it is just coming here. I don't know if it is this upper one, and we could send the name in this. Hey Water Wonders, whatever the name they type their site, we could capture it here. I'm not going to do that. You guys can customize that. I think I'll just go ahead and customize whatever the invoice should look like, the things inside here. So let me just go to this last one, this one. I guess, I don't know if it is this one. Let's see. Yeah, invoice 8. Yeah, so Water Wonders is being sent successfully. We have the link in the inbox. So thank you so much for watching up to this level. I'm so very happy. If you have not subscribed, please just subscribe, like the video, share with your friends, and I'm just going to be building more and more apps. After this app, we're having more apps coming up next. So we are remaining with the last episode. So in the last episode, which I'm just going to make, I think, tomorrow. So in the last episode, we are going to work on this print. Okay, so you're just going to work on this print function. Descriptive or text for images to improve accessibility. For a second. In the next episode, I'm just going to work on this print, and then we're going to work on the authentication. So the big thing in tomorrow's video is going to be the authentication. Okay, so we were going to add authentication, the login and register here. We'll add these functionalities to our invoice, and it will make it complete and free done. Remember, if you want, the code is in the description. Check the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode.